Hey YouTube. Okay, so I'm doing this video. I know you like, what is she laughing at? I'm laughing at my makeup. And I don't feel like fixing it. I just don't. Anyway, um maybe I should. Anyway, okay. So no, because I'm tired and I got a Zoom to do, so I don't feel like fixing it. I did a fast and a meditation, and I wanted to share with you some of my insights. So the fast was great. I'm used to doing that. I did it for about 2 days, and that little bit of time gave me the clarity that I needed for the goal that I was trying to accomplish. So that worked out. However, the meditative state from that point up until I would say about a day and a half ago, that can be brutal. That can be brutal, especially when you are, going through like a spiritual awakening and you're having all these different things that you're coming to learn, know, and accept. And when you do, it changes things. It changes the very thread of who you are. It changes your DNA. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk about, because I made a post on Facebook saying that or letting them know that I have been, meditating. And I said, it's, I said something to the effect of, I tried to do it without making my head spin. Because that's what it's like sometimes when you go deep, when you are really taking in knowledge and allowing insight in to come into your mind. Sometimes it can be a lot to deal with. And a lot of people, put those memes out about spiritual awakenings, about what you think it's going to look like or what other people think it's going to look like, which is a bed of roses, as opposed to what it really looks like. And then they show someone who looks like they're having a nervous breakdown. So that's what it's like, it can get really heavy. And the reason why it's good to do it with fasting is because when you're fasting, you're clearing a lot of things out of your body which inhibit you and your thinking processes, So when you are meditating, the exact same thing happens, but just on an energetic level. So when you're fasting, you're detoxing, right? But when you're meditating, the same thing happens. You're detoxing old ideas, things that no longer are going to serve you, especially in your purpose, your specific purpose, the reason why you were created here on this earth. You as an individual, you with your distinct fingerprints have a distinct purpose to serve here on this earth, which is not the same as my purpose or the next person's, which is why I talked about in one of my other videos how we each have our own user's manual. So it's no reason why people should try to borrow from the others when theirs only pertains to them. So, and I want to address this right quick too, because I might put this on my July YouTube channel, but I don't recommend you trying to convince other people of what you believe. Like, that's for you. It's not for them. Allow them to have their own mind and space. And if there's something that you wish that you guys had in common or whatever, pray about it. Pray about it. You don't have to be the one that's going to, like, and you can anyway, that's going to change someone or change their minds, because you don't want to do that. That is the same as, you know, I mean, like, everybody has free will. So when you look at it like that, you wouldn't, why would you want to change someone? Be happy about your own choices and your decisions and what works for you, you know? So yeah, I get comments sometimes, and I've also had people who have tried to convince me of their beliefs, that their beliefs are just true all across the board for every human. This includes you and everybody else, and this is how it is. Oh, you know, that's my response. Like, oh, you haven't met July yet. That's the crazy side. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, but when you're going through these awakenings, you know, people across the board, what is meant for you happens for you. It happens for you, and it can be tough. I love that people these days are starting to find their soul tribes, because there are people who share your beliefs, but then there are people who don't. So the best thing to do is to partner up with the people who do, rather than trying to convince others. You know, reinforce your beliefs and how you feel and what you're doing with the people who already are in your field of thinking, you know, in your frequency, on that radio dial. Because people who are on a different frequency, they don't, you can't merge the two radio stations. And you don't need to, because they're two different radio stations. So it's like a whole other world. It's like a whole other universe. And sometimes they're parallel and sometimes they're not. But at the time when you are having dealings with someone from another frequency, it's because, you know, the frequencies tend to have their little times where they cross, you know, when you're changing the dial and you can kind of hear both tuning in, but it just makes noise and it don't make sense. That's what's happening. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to put out there because of the comments that I get sometimes on my channel. So I'll make sure I post this too. And I won't make this video long, but I just wanted to say that when you are going through your time of meditating and reforming and bettering yourself, know that you're gonna come out better on the other side, even though it's a little tough. And expect to see and feel changes, not just within, but when you effectuate these changes within, you're going to see them outside as well. So things are going to start to change in your world, including people that you're around, or things that happen in your life, you know, because you're putting yourself in a new frequency now. You're placing yourself in a higher frequency than where you were once before, and you'll start to notice things change for the better, and they are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. So take note of that. And when you really feel like you're at your wit's end, always pray. Sorry, move that notification. Always pray. You can never go wrong when you pray, and you'll always receive help when you do, and you don't have to doubt that. And don't go by what someone else told you about prayer. Go within yourself and in your heart and make it heartfelt. As a matter of fact, I did a video on how to pray, and it talks about allowing the energy, the God energy, to come down through your crown chakra. Imagining that light coming down through your crown chakra and down past that into the rest of your body, through the rest of your chakras, and grounding you, and you connecting your heart chakra or your heart space to that cosmic God energy. And when you do that, when you place yourself in that type of connection, and I bet a lot of people have never prayed that way before, from the religion that I left, which is why I noticed that they would have a harder time encouraging themselves or self-motivating themselves, and they needed more encouragement outwardly from others than they could by self-rejuvenation. And it's usually because they really didn't truly connect, and the visual helps you to connect in that way. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But make that connection and pray if you're starting to have a hard time when you're meditating. And you won't, you won't have any regrets. You won't be let down. And I can tell I need to ground myself because I can see my camera shaking from my hand. I need to ground myself because I have been really taking in so much energy. But I'm eternally grateful, and I hope that I've said something that helps you today. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay strong. Always implement self-care that I talk about in all the videos. Go outside. Soak up that energy rather than the energy within the four walls that you continue to imprison yourself in. Don't cage yourself inside. The energy inside is not going to replenish you. And it holds the energy of all the other people who may be inside, which, whether that's home or work or whatever it is. Go outside and soak up that energy in order to replenish you. That's part of self-care, amongst other ways. But anyways, I love you guys, and I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday. Oh, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and please give me a thumbs up for this video. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like me to address, I still will address things about health. But I'm making this channel more about just more all-inclusive, because there are more things that are going to impact your health than just, herbs and what you eat. So we're breaking those barriers now. We're going to be talking about energy and all those things. So let me know if there's anything you'd like me to discuss, and I will happily oblige. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.